Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, September 16th, and you know what that means. It is time for Tuesday Talk today, right now. We are been a little busy. Some unforeseen circumstances over the past couple weeks. I mean, great circumstances. Don't It was crazy. And there we go. The live stream just kicked up again. So one of these days I'll remember to mute it before it turns it on. So good morning, everyone. Andy Carnes, Steve Plazo, my buddy T-Bone, the Urban Centurion. All you guys were waiting on me, man. I can't say thank you enough. Thanks for being there. I'll be honest with you. Didn't want to get up and do this morning. That's the devil talking, right? That's the evil. That's the negative thinking, the self-sabotage, right? That I think we all go through. I didn't want to get on and do this morning. I knew I was going to have problems. The reason I'm having problems is because I haven't been able to figure out a better streaming platform for myself, for us. And it puts us into, behind the power curve, but it's nobody's fault but my own. And when we get into those situations, we tend to tell ourselves that we're not good enough and it's never going to work out anyway, right? And nobody cares. And then when I came down here this morning and I start setting things up and I start writing emails, and I see there's 5 people waiting, right? So, we all say we do this Save 22 stuff to save one life. You need to remind yourself that there were 5 people waiting here this morning to hear Tuesday Talk. So thank you for being here. Thank you for eliminating the self-sabotage. And I'll challenge every single one of you to do that, right? You get into a funk where you're like, yeah, nobody cares. Nobody's listening. It's worthless. Nobody gives us. And it's not working out the way I had hoped for, right? So I just don't want to do it anymore. And what we end up doing is quitting just a little bit too early, too soon. And we don't let it play all the way out, right? So I'll challenge you to keep going, keep trying, maybe reset, regroup, take a different perspective on what you're trying to accomplish, and just keep going, right? Give it one more day. Don't quit today. A lot of events happened last week in the world. I don't want to get into those, right? For political, ideological, religious reasons. Not my thing, man. Not my thing. But it hurt, right? So I was very saddened. I didn't know how or what I was feeling, right? I was in shock, I guess you'd say. And I should have been a Marine, but we all know that story there, T-Bone, so we're not going to go there. And I think some of us struggle with that kind of stuff, right? Like, why do I feel this way? I'm 50 some years old. I've seen death. I've seen assassinations. I've seen all these things. I've carried bodies. I've done the memorial services, POW rides. Like, I've done all those things. Senior Chief, what's up? Glad you're here, buddy. Hey, congratulations to Goat Locker Racing, our partners. Over there in Indiana. They have a big meeting coming up this week. We're not going to talk about it real quick, but I just want to say congratulations to Patrick and the entire team over at Goat Locker because they're doing some pretty awesome things in the iRacing world. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. They're all over social media, Facebook, YouTube, and they race 7 nights a week now. They stream their races 7 nights a week, and their motto is one lap at a time. Phenomenal organization, great people, and I really, really encourage you to go check them out if you're into the iRacing thing. Even if you're not, go listen to some stories from some veterans and some brothers and some racing people, and they're really doing some awesome stuff over there. So congrats and kudos to Dribek and the Goat Locker Racing team. So I want to talk about that events from last week. And, we all go through cycles, right? Ups and downs, things in our life, things that happen that we have zero control over. And we just have to let them happen. When I heard of the news of Charlie's assassination, it I'll just be honest with you. It felt like this man's done, and I don't know everything. All we know is what we see on social media, but and the news and things like that. But he seemed like to me a man who loved his family, was 100% into his faith, and did what he thought was right for his life. And somebody took him out for it. And that's a shame. That's sad. That's horrible. That's despicable. Um, I mean, you'll say the same for any assassination, any murder. They're senseless, right? They're senseless. But I think we all struggle with how are we supposed to feel about this, and I don't think there is a right or wrong answer on that. I don't know that there is a correct way or a wrong way to go about this. So I will just say that I had to sit with my stuff for a while. You got to sit in your own shit for a little bit, right? And figure out what you really see in it, right? Discern the gigabytes of information that are coming at you. Put down the stuff that doesn't matter and focus on what you have at home, what you're doing, what you're going through, right? Give yourself that 5-10 minutes to feel the pain, to feel the shock, feel the whatever it is you're feeling, and then move on, right? That 5-10 minutes is probably not going to be enough. You'll have to come back. You'll have to revisit it. The thing that you have to do, though, is to keep going, right? You can't sit and focus and wallow and self-pity and, oh my God, what now? And go to the extreme thinking. And I can say that because I'm one of the most extreme thinkers you'll ever find. And I think a lot of us veterans and first responders are that way because we have seen the extremes of things, right? Things that we have done on a day-to-day basis for sometimes 20 plus years for a lot of us were life and death, right? Decisions determined life and death. And when we get out, our daily decisions are not life and death anymore. And we forget that, right? We have to go back into the learning of how to get by and not be in a life and death situation or a life and death mindset every day. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm sure it'll come back into play somehow, some way down the road. But for right now, let's talk about Save 22 and all the things that we've had going on about Save 22. I appreciate you too, Senior Chief. Thank you very much, my friend. So I have a whole list of stuff that Save 22 has been doing over the past month, and we missed a couple shows. So bear with me. Some of the guys aren't on simply because they have other things going on. But we have been with Carson Brown Motorsports all over the ASA Tour, Stars Tour. We have been all over. Man, what's that other group that they were with? Oh, they were out at Eldora Speedway, right, with the dirt late models. They were in the ASA Stars Tour. We had Mustang Week down in the Carolinas. We had the Save 22 golf outing. I'm going to put this over here so I'm not looking away from y'all all the time. We had the Save 22 golf outing last Monday, which was a record event for us. It was the largest, the most money raised by Save 22 at a singular event. And it was we had 100 golfers. So that's 25 teams, 100 golfers. That was the largest, most participation we've ever had. So kudos to Riley Benson, Matt Bertram, the Quarry Golf Course over in East Canton. Beautiful golf course. They really treated us well. Voodoo Misfits came out. They're a nonprofit out of Kansas City, I believe. They came up and were our platinum sponsor, cut us a check right there at the event as well. We're not going to talk about how much, but let's just say that they financed golf for 2026 and the Save 22 team for next year. So we will have a golf program next year. Riley Benson is going to be heading that up. If you want more information on that, email us at info@save22.vet. And I just realized I don't have any of my tracker scrollers across the bottom. So let's try to put a couple of those up. We will put, let's see, we're going to put this one up there. And then we're going to put this one up there. So you got the Tuesday Talk right there. You can always email me, TuesdayTalk@save22.vet for any information on any of the programs Save22 has. You can also look right down here at the website, save22.vet, and all of our stuff is on there. We are going through a rebranding of the website, I guess you'd say, and the programs that we're going to run for 2026. Right now, we're going to do motorsports and golf. I don't know what else we're going to do as of this time, but hey, we're moving forward. So, hey, the other thing that we had going on was the BWXT event. They're a facility out in Barberton. They actually have, I think, 5 nationwide facilities, and they started a veterans employee resource group, right? So that's what they're doing. And they had me out on September 11th, to be there and just talk about Save 22, essentially, excuse me. Excellent time. It was an all-day event. They had some great catered food. They had a car show, some really cool cars. Met some great people there at BWXT. So thank you, BWXT, for having us out. May have even picked up a advocate / volunteer to continue the Save 22 mission from there. So Jamie, thank you for reaching out. Hope to have you at a couple of events, and yeah, looking forward to having you around. Let's see what else. We got a couple comments up here. Should have joined the Marine Corps, Drabick. Plazo, yes, put that shit down. Turn off the TV, put the phones down, and reground yourself. Yeah, fact, right? We've talked about that, you and I, quite a bit. T-Bone says, we feel really bad about the events because like the slaying of Christ, but like Christ's raising from the dead, we can also feel something significant shifted in the spirit and awakening. I'm not going to get into that because I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. That's my personal religious thing. If that's what you believe, then you go right on ahead. I think you are 100% correct in a shift in the spirit, a shift in the country, a shift in the perception of people, of government in this country. And I really don't want to get into any of that because there's not a whole lot I can do about the politics in this country. There's not a lot I can do about the people in this country. So my focus is on what I can do to be the best version of myself today and to be there to help others be the best version of themselves for today and tomorrow. T-Bone, if you want to come hang out, let's go get lunch, man. We'll talk about it, but I'm not going to do it on YouTube. That's just my thing, right? So appreciate you being honest with yourself and with us about your own faith and belief. So thank you for that. All right, let's move into motorsports, which is my niche, right? This is my thing, motorsports. We have a phenomenal partnership with the IHRA. They have agreed to free admission to veterans for the rest of the 2025 season. And at the end of this month, that's the wrong calendar. See, live. At the end of this month at Dragway 42 in West Salem, Ohio, from September 25th to the 27th, Save 22 and the Lex June Never Quit Nitro Army will be at Dragway 42 in West Salem, Ohio. And we are going to, brain fart. I like to call that vapor lock every now and again. So, vapor lock. Those of you old school drivers and racers from back in the 70s and 80s understand the term vapor lock. Occasionally that happens to me. So let's try again. The IHRA and Save 22 and Lex June will be at Dragway 42 in West Salem, Ohio, September 25th through the 27th. The IHRA is offering veterans free admission. Just show up or get to the website. Excuse me, I got a little itchy going on. Show up at the track or go to the website and get your free tickets for the day. With that, the IHRA and Save 22 are offering free 2-pack admissions for the entire 4-day event to anyone that emails motorsports right there, motorsports@save22.vet with proof of veteran status, military status, or first responder status. We'll give you a free 4-day pass for 2 tickets to the event at Dragway 42. I just got off emails with Ruth, the hospitality director for the IHRA. They are planning a Veterans Appreciation Day on Saturday. They're going to have team fast tracks jump the flag in for the opening ceremonies. They're going to have veterans on the grassy area catch the flag as best they can, and then proceed to have a flag folding ceremony, including the veterans there at the track. So hopefully you can come out and hang out with us. We right here, motorsports at save22.vet. Get your 2 packs of tickets. I've already had an interest for about, let's say 15 2-packs. We are going to be there all weekend. Save 22 is going to provide 2 meals for the team, Lex June's team, probably on Friday during qualifying. We'll make sure that we have that available for them. And I wanted to talk about Lex June's team as well. Lex June employs or has volunteers for this weekend of 3 or 4 veterans every time. Steve is a veteran. He's a former Marine. My buddy Rick Chavez is a former first sergeant. He is there as well. And then those are the 2 that I know the best. Jesse Freeman is an Army vet. He came out and raced. He won that event with us in Milan, Michigan, and then got hired on with a pro team. So, man, congratulations to him. Alex was there. Alex is not a veteran, but he has a struggling story. And then we had another guy there, not a veteran, who shared his story of struggle as well, and how he kept going because of Lex, right? So a lot of people will say, what does motorsports do? How does motorsports tie into Save 22 and the mission? Well, I'll tell you that motorsports saved my life. And I say that kind of loosely, but with all passion, because about 6 or 7 years ago, Albert called me up and asked me to go to a road race at Mid-Ohio in the FR America series. That's a series run by Scott Goodyear. He's a former IndyCar racer. He is known in the IndyCar world for having, at the time, it was the closest finish in Indy 500 history. He ran second to Al Unser Jr., Little Al. He's running a driver development series known as FR Americas. And 6 or 7 years ago, Albert called me up to come out there, and I didn't want to do it. Right. So we're about 2 years post-suicide attempt, about 2 years outside of my retirement from the military, still struggling with a bunch of stuff, not wanting to get out of the house, I was comfortable being a dick and being shut off, right? Being home, pissed off at the world, right? We talk about that. Hacker and I talk about that quite a bit. Pissed off at the world, not knowing why you're pissed off at the world. That's where I was. And Albert convinced me to go ahead and go. And I went. It was an incredible experience. I'd never been around Indy-style cars before, open-wheel cars, driver development series, never been around those things before either. And the guys at Alliance Racing showed me a lot of love and respect that day, got me a team shirt. If there was a pit stop, I was going to be involved in that. Kept me involved in team meetings. I got to be around the cars, the drivers, the parents, the crew chiefs, the whole 9 yards. It ended up being a really exciting time for me. I got out of my own shell and realized that I still had some skills and talent that could be used outside of the military, right? And they hired me for a 5-day event down at Virginia International Raceway. We took 5 or 6 cars. We did like 10 or 11 races, I think it was. We wrecked, I want to say 10 or 11 times. And my goodness, dude, like I ended up being in charge of the repairs of these cars. The normal car chief had stepped up to be like the engineer, data analytic guy, and couldn't manage all 5 cars. I ended up, man, I like just got thrown into it and it was absolutely incredible. There's a video out there somewhere of my 280-pound ass trying to fit into one of those cars and bleed the brakes. And man, it was just an exciting time, right? We would work 18, 20 hours a day fixing these cars, sleep a couple hours, get back, go back and race. The stuff that I missed being in the military, right? The drive, the mission, the commitment, the staying awake, the pounding caffeine drinks, the eating food with grubby, dirty, greasy hands, right? All that stuff that I had missed, I got to participate in, and it was absolutely incredible. So um, I'll challenge you. Come on out. Come on out to a motorsports event with Safe 22 and just see what's happening, right? Can't guarantee you're going to work on the car. Obviously, these are 12,000-pound machines, 12,000 horsepower machines, nitro methane, 300 plus miles an hour, thousands of dollars to run down the track. A warm up is $500, right? Like, this is not cheap stuff, right? So we're not just going to throw you into it and let you Tommy toggle on things, but you will have a good time. Carson Brown's Motorsports did I think it's a 30-second, 40-second commercial interview with me about the motorsports program. And, it was really incredible. And they're really raising the awareness of how motorsports can help, right? It's a diversion therapy. It gets you out of your head. It gets you someplace that you may never have been before, to show you a side of yourself that you may have forgotten existed. That's what motorsports does for me, right? You're not, while you're not the military guy anymore, you still have that same inner working. You still have that same service before self. You still have that same team effort, team goal, right? Disregard myself for the goal. I think Steve Plazo, as well, being a mortuary affairs individual, right? He got to meet with families at their worst moments, right? And provide a service. And that's a struggle, right? So, Steve, I'll invite you to come out to the track, right? I'll send you some tickets. You come out, you just see it. You don't have to hang with me all day. Go enjoy the track. Go enjoy the racing. Dragway 42, the end of the month, man. So shoot an email right there. Oh, here it comes. Let's see if I can do this. Email motorsports save 22 dot vet right there. I can say the same about you, Flyboy. You have no idea what you've done for me in reshaping my life. Well, good. I'm glad. I haven't done anything. Like I said, you were at the point where you were willing to listen, right? Because what you had been doing wasn't working. So you were willing to try anything. There's my friend Janice. Gives a sense of purpose, maybe. I need you and Greg to come out to the racetrack, Janice. You and Greg need to come out to that racetrack with us and hang out, please. So yes, please, Janice, even though you are my bestest friend, you need to email motorsports at save22.vet and I'll send you some tickets. I think that was a wink. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So where are we at with that? Motorsports changed my life. It can change yours too. If you want to get into that, if you want to go golfing, let's go golfing. If you want to have a discussion at lunch, if you want to go bowling, I'm not a bowler, but if you want to go, I don't know, grab lunch, get a beer. I don't drink either, but I'll have an NA with you. We'll go hang out at Bubba's, right? We'll go have a lunch and just talk about some stuff. I'm taking a buddy out this weekend. We're going to go meet up or Thursday, actually. We're going to go meet up with my old crew chief buddies out there at Youngstown Air Reserve Station. A bunch of the old guard, us old guys, are going to go have a little lunch and a get together and say hey to everybody. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to be in Sharpsville, PA. So shout out to Jim Graves for inviting me to that this month, as they welcomed me in as one of their own. Being their first sergeant for a couple years didn't work out the way I had hoped it worked out. And then I became a flyer. So we get to go hang out with a couple of those guys this week. So that's going to be really cool. Man, does anybody want to get on the show? Send me right here in that chat little thingy on the side there. Say, yeah, I want to be on. And I will shoot you an email, or actually email me right now at TuesdayTalk at Save22. I'll pick it up. I'll shoot you a link. You can come join in. I'd really like to talk to T-Bone if we could. T-Bone has talked to me a couple times about his story. So, hey, man, if you're willing to share a little bit of that today, T-Bone, I'd love to have you. You and I have shared a couple moments. And if you're willing to put them out in public, I'd love to have you on. So stand by one while I wet the whistle. Fire pit therapy. Steve Undertaker, I had that. That's what we're going to call you, the Undertaker. I got that on the therapy porch, my brother. You and I have talked many times about the therapy porch. Sometimes you just need to realize where you are when you are there. It's not what you think in your head, right? Your head has a tendency to lie to you more than people will, right? So be careful what you're. All right. T-Bone wants to get on. The least likely. There's my buddy. Hell yeah, he's on. Man, this is great. And like I said, guys, listen, at the very beginning, I didn't want to get on, right? All day, all morning. Last night, I had all these great ideas. This is what I'm going to do. And when I sat down in front of this computer this morning, blank, right? Couldn't find the intro music that Josh created for us. Once I did find it, I couldn't get it to load. It wasn't playing out the way I wanted it to play out. And, I started all the negative talk. Well, nobody's going to be on anyway. Nobody cares. All that stuff, right? All those negative, that BS that is just not true, right? That we all tell ourselves, I think. I think we all get into that. Hey, T-Bone, text me. I think you got my number. In fact, I know you got my number. But I can't find it right now. All right. So, yeah. Hey, I don't like quiet time, especially when you're on a live performance. So that doesn't really go too well. But it happens, right? So the least likely, I'm going to challenge you all to go check out the least likely here on YouTube. He does a interview format where he brings in people that are the least likely, people that normally wouldn't get attention. He had I don't even know what to call it anymore. He had an awakening, a spiritual awakening within himself, that said, I need to do this. And he started it. And I was one of his first interviews. I think it was his second. It was actually his first. There it is. All right. We're going to get T-Bone in over here. So just a minute. I'm going to put this link in here real quick. We're going to get my man online. Copy. Down here. Up there. And paste. All right. So let's give it a couple minutes. So Mr. Glover running the least likely. That's an incredible story. So I'll tell you this. Go to the least likely, watch a couple of his clips if you have time and you're interested in it, which I think you should be, because a lot of it is perspective, right? A homeless man on the side of the street, myself, my story a little bit there. And I think he had just had another one pop up last week, if I remember correctly. It might have been a little bit longer. T-Bone will just give me 1 minute and I'll let you join in here in just a second. I want to finish this thought. So go check out the least likely right here on YouTube. He's also on Facebook. Just starting out, great guy, really committed to his craft, taught me a little bit about what I thought I didn't know. And I didn't. So thank you for that. And thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to share some of my story with you on the least likely. So Here we are. We are going to bring in my man, Steve. God bless it. That beard is huge. Where did that come from? Holy cow.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me fix this shit, dude. There, dude. That's better, brother. Yeah, that's
Where
better.
are you?
I'm in my garage, man. I'm chilling, homeboy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. So, hey,
So like last time we talked, I was going through all my thing, and dude, I
yeah,
kind of found myself. So, the VA says, "Hey, you're fucking." I'm sorry, bro. Are we not? Are we not?
you're good. You're on
Is it
live.
good?
It'll get
All right,
whatever.
cool, man. Well,
Just
I'll
be
do my best.
cautious.
That.
Just be
Yeah,
cautious.
I'm Marine, dude. My boss. All right. Um, you know me, homie.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
They. I didn't know this, man, but okay. So my history. I was a Marine,
A little.
all right. So I was a Marine. I was a sniper out there. That's kind of where I culminated, and then they made me a drill instructor, homeboy. That is no. That's no joke. I was like, dude, I get these orders, right? Because I'm up. I'm the senior sergeant, dude. I'm up for staff, and they're like, all right, dude, special duty, bro. And they sent that shit, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
What's seniors? What's seniors? Sorry, what staffs? E7, E6 for you guys?
Yeah, staff sergeant is E6. So
okay,
unlike everywhere else, unlike the Army. All right, here's a perfect example, dude. The Army has sergeant first class. Okay, that's their congressional ranking. So you can't just get your cut and score up and become an E7 in the Army, right? You have to go. Yeah, there has to be a board, and sergeant majors have to choose you. Okay, ours is E6. So just like in the Navy, man, when we would get on ship, right? So staff sergeants technically can eat in the freaking chief's mess, and we took advantage of that, bro. Because let me tell you something, them chiefs, man, they
why not?
Better than little homeboys. It ain't right though, bro. But anyway, whatever. But I always liked eating with the first classes, anyways, which was like my rank. Well, equivalent to like my rank.
Gotcha.
I don't know why, because I got some Filipino heritage in me, dude, and all the Filipinos were first classes, dude, and they were making bagong and all kinds of good food, bro. It was good. I know. So
I cannot remember the life of me. I want to say it was some sort of potato, mashed potato dip. No, that's not Philippine.
Dude. Hey man, pancit's like Thai's version of like freaking pad Thai, dude. It's yeah, man.
I was stationed at George in California, and in the early '90s, and it was right after Mount Pinatubo blew up, and a lot of the Filipino, what was that base down there?
In the Philippines,
Clark. So Clark Air Base down in the Philippines got covered in ash, and a lot of those guys, those airplanes, evac'd over to George, Southern California, where I was. So there was a lot of Tagalog being spoken. There was a lot of Filipino spouses. Epic food, absolutely epic food, phenomenal food.
So I have like this, dude. I got a fucked up history, so like I don't actually
easy on the F bombs, bro. Easy on the F bombs.
Yeah, sorry, homie. Sorry. Yeah, so I mean, like, it took me a long time to actually accept that because, of my history and how, like how I came about and everything. I was born in the early '70s, dude, in California. My birth certificate was actually stamped bastard, dude, because that's what was a legal term
back then. That
then,
was a good term back then,
yeah,
right?
Shame.
Absolutely.
It was like shame. But anyway, I didn't come from good roots, man. I mean, we were poor. I remember just poor as hell. My only chance was was to join the military. I was this angry, rambunctious kid, man. Really. Misguided, lost, because I grew up in the city, dude. I grew up San Jose, California, homeboy. So
I've been there.
It was the jungle, bro. It was the concrete jungle, homie. And I did, and it is what it is. And now it's like, at the end, and it's not the end. It's the. I would say this is
It's
the last
not the
chapter.
end.
No, this is the last chapter, man. Because let me tell you something, man. Because you remember me a couple years ago when I was tripping, dude.
You were tripping
I was coming out
pretty
of it,
hard.
dude. Yeah, and that's because you have to understand, dude. I did Marine Corps, and then I was like a cop for a while, which was I did contracting and was like, whoa, dude, because I was like a nomad in hostile environments on a protected
Right.
detail, dude. And some of this was Wild West. Dude, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Iraq in 2004, homeboy, you remember that?
Rough.
I was a contractor out there, dude. I was like, dude, I saw a dude in the green zone, man, at the freaking PX parking lot. 04, man. The dude, black duster, samurai sword, freaking black hat coming out of the contract. I was like, what is going on?
What is happening? What is happening here? What are we doing here?
Wild West. We privatized war, bro. It was the
Oh,
craziest
100%.
thing. So I jumped in it, but then I ended up finding out, dude, like I went deep. I mean, I'm sure because you and I talk offline. I ain't gotta say it here, but
right. Yeah, we don't have to do
I
it
ended
here.
up going deep, dude, and I ended up working for those freaking
3-letter agencies.
A 3-letter agency that was like.
So
like,
let's
one of the
talk
reasons
about
why
that.
my beard. One of the reasons why I love my beard, and dude, this is not like it used to be crazier because a lot of times I'd work out in those outer lying areas, and it's not like you can look like a damn soldier with a fresh freaking haircut. You know what I mean?
No,
can't do that.
No,
that's psychotic.
I would not fit in. I would not fit in.
You'd be a target, homie. Yeah, you'd be a target. So it's like you got to do the thing. So I did all that, and you realize I was done in 21. That I walked away from that, and it was literally a wash, rinse, repeat. So we think, right, like the workup. Okay, so you do a deployment with your unit, right, and then you have your downtime, right, and everyone's punched here, there, wherever, taking leave, whatever, and then you get your administrative section back, and then you start getting your workup back because you're going to do it again, man. It's a cycle, right?
Right.
For me, in this world, dude, in the private world, well, in the contracting world, it was literally you go away for 2 months, 3 months, and mine was always at least 100 days. Just to come home, unplug from that freaking life, literally fly 3 days, plug back into home for about a month and a half, unplug that just to get back out there. Someone very important in my life back in the day used to say, I get you for a month and a half, and I only have you for 2 weeks. You get home, you have to unwind. Then I get you. And then you got 2 weeks and your mind's already there, dude.
You're spinning
and
back up again.
How many times have I said I can't wait to get back home, or home, being freaking work and calling home my actual home vacation. Dude, you get lost in it, bro.
You do. I mean, I did. I did. That was my biggest
I'm a walking
thing.
testament to that, dude. And I did it for entirely too long, man.
I remember you, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, right? I think you were getting out of it. I think you were getting out of it, and we were at what's that?
I left Kabul, dude. I left Kabul right before it popped off, man. And I was able, because I still had connections, and I was able to reach out and like, hey, what the fuck? What's going on, bro? And I'm like, oh,
right,
dude. I'm like, what is dude?
So let's talk about that real quick,
dude. I was really about to be like, hey, man, bring me back in.
Let's talk about that real quick, because that episode, that time, that drawdown, that withdrawal, that messed with a lot of our heads, because I think many of us felt like we were the Vietnam veterans. You just left it. Now we know what they felt like our sacrifices, our brothers, all that stuff meant nothing. You just left us. And then you want to try to get back over there and go help, and you can't. Right. So you talk about the you're gone for 100 days, you're home for 6 weeks, but I actually only have you for 2, because the first 2 you're unwinding, the middle 2 you're there, the next 2 you're spinning back up again. I know it's horrible.
And let me tell you something, dude. Guys like us, man, every freaking day we have to wake up and realize that today might be the day. It is what it is. and you get so numb to it, so damn numb to it. When you come home, you can't, dude. Why do you think I'm homebound? I'm not homebound, but they say I'm homebound. But I'll tell you this much: do I want to go outside my damn fence? Nope.
I know.
You
I was the
understand me?
same way.
You invited me
I
to the
was the
golf
same
course.
way.
You think I'm gonna go to the golf course right now, homie? You freaking crazy, dude. You gotta come to my house, bro. Come chill with me, dude. We'll have lunch. I'll grill you something. But
And this
right
is
now, because
this
I'm that guy that I'm not good controlling my stuff, dude. So honestly, it's better for me to, because I have SA, dude, because I know what's up, because I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of.
you
It's
know what
better
you're
that I
capable
stay
of.
home, dude.
Right.
It's better that I stay
Right.
home, because you don't want me out there in the streets. You don't want me talking to people. I don't want me talking to people, dude, because I've got ass to back up my freaking mouth.
It's hard. It's hard.
And it's better that I just, because I may say, because I devoted
Let me ask you this.
life to this country, dude. I know what I'm capable of, but more importantly, I know how to sheathe my sword, bro. And that's what Christ taught me. I know how to sheathe my sword.
Let's go into that.
It's so much better for me to know how violent I can be and control it than to not know how violent I can be.
Yes. So let's talk about that. You talk
Jordan
about
Peterson,
being able to.
Homie.
Yeah.
Listen to Jordan Peterson. That dude knows what's up.
I want to be a violent man when I need to be a violent man. But that's
it's all capability, dude.
It's capability, right?
Homie. That's confidence.
Right. What am I capable of? Right. I know what I'm capable of.
Yes.
But I don't have to act on it all the time. And that was a hard one for me, right? Because
history,
like you, I grew up, I didn't know I was poor. Let's put it that way. I didn't know I was poor. But I learned everything, right? I learned cars, I learned yard work, I learned, painting, I learned electric, I learned because we had to. We didn't have the money to fix that kind of stuff, right? And then I knew early on I didn't want to be in that house. No offense to my mom and my dad. I knew I didn't fit there. Right? I don't fit here.
You and me,
I gotta go. And I did 23 and a half years, and I think I deployed 13 times. I lost track. I don't remember. Being aviation, especially with AWACS, man, I was gone for 2, home for 2, gone for 6, home for 1, whatever. There was a lot of stuff with AWACS, and then you become a flyer and you're flying 1 or 2 nights a week, a trip a month. And I realized just recently, 6 months or so, that my wife didn't marry Master Sergeant John Moser. My wife married John. Right. And just because I have that capability outside of the home does not mean that I have to portray that capability inside my home.
And that's
all that is that fight. That is that struggle, right? That
my job was my identity.
You're fully retired now, right? You're fully retired.
100%, dude. Between everything. Right. Yeah, I'm good. And I tell you, the VA struggle was a struggle, but and that's a whole nother thing, dude. I went through the fight by myself, and I ended up getting like some kind of crazy SMC. But nonetheless, I learned to navigate through it. And you know me, man. I've been helping dudes ever since navigate this. And I'm a big advocate for VSCs in your counties because they're the ones that can help you get through that. Now, can they take you all the way through? No, because I have a personal example of my VSC not wanting to poke the bear. And guess what? I knew I was right to poke the bear because
I know how to.
About, exactly, dude. And I was like, no, I'm poking the bear because this is right.
Right.
And guess what?
Right.
I won. I want to hands down, dude. And so
we talked.
But they're a great tool. You see what I'm saying?
Phenomenal tool.
Outstanding tool, dude. And let me tell you something. The one here, bro, they made up a program to help me, man. You remember, dude, when I came home, homie. They invented a program to help me, and I'm probably not supposed to say that to my boss, but nonetheless, dude, they did that for me, dude. And
let's talk about your coming home. let's talk about that coming home, because I remember a specific event at the Irish Exchange where you essentially tackled me, um, and stuck your finger in my chest and said, because of what you told me, I didn't kill myself that night. Can we talk about that real quick? If you have a minute, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with it, dude.
So when we come back, my experience was I'm still living that ops tempo, right?
Yeah.
That 24/7. And my wife has everything settled here. The three kids, my last deployment, my daughter was a senior in high school, and she has everything. She has it all worked out. Julia was, I think, seventh grade. Jeffrey was like fourth grade. She has everything handled here. I don't have to come in and try to take over everything. And that's incredibly hard because A, I'm the dad, B, I'm the breadwinner, C, I'm a military guy, I'm a leader, I'm a what do they call that? Top 3 NCO. I feel like it's my responsibility, right, to be involved in every aspect of my home.
Yep.
And the one thing that my wife said to me when I got home was, don't do anything, right? I'm not being mean. I don't need you to do anything. I want
How
you to
feel?
recover. It was horrible. I'm not going to lie to you. It was horrible. It was, look, I got chills.
Yeah. But isn't it Adam's pride?
But it was truth. It was truth, right? She was trying to get me to take care of myself, right?
Mhm.
Having no idea what I did over there, only what I told her, which 90% of the time is not the truth. We all know that.
Yeah.
I think she knows that. All I had to do was reintegrate. All I had to do was allow it to happen. And that was hard. I mean, that was hard, right?
But you got
The sleeping for 2 hours, the waking up, I'm awake for 4. I can't stay awake during meetings. I can't focus on television shows. All I want to do is eat junk food. I don't want to work out, but you know that those things are the things that you have to do, right? Those are the things that we did over there to make ourselves the best possible that we could make us. And when we come back here and they tell us to just relax, we don't know how to do that, right? And we forget that we have to take care of ourselves first. And how did we do that over there? We went to bed when we could, we slept when we could, we ate when we could, we worked out when we could, we talked bullshit, we complained, we hung out with our bros, right? And we focused on the job at hand. So when to come home and all they tell you is go relax, don't do anything. Well, they don't teach you how to do that. They don't give you the tools or the education on how you do that, right? So when I made it through my shit, I was able to somehow put into words what I was like, what happened, and what I'm like now. And I could transfer that into learning experiences on the daily. And somehow I ran into you somewhere and I said something to you that resonated. I don't know what it was, and you don't have to share it, but you came back up to me at the Irish one night and just fucking bear hugged me and said, I didn't do it last night because of you.
Yeah.
And can you maybe talk about what that was like for you inside of your head, right? Where you're coming up on that, I'm no good. It's better for me to leave.
Yeah.
And then what happened that you didn't, right? Because I've talked about it ad nauseum quite a bit where
Sure.
it was just an argument with my wife where she called me a dick and said, you're never going to change. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not changing. I'm out. And something happened. I got a voice in my head. I didn't want my kids to find me, whatever. And I went to an AA meeting and I talked about it and I cried and I realized that I was the one putting all of that onto myself. It was nothing that anybody else did. And I was able to crawl, right? I mean, literally crawl one day at a time out of that.
Yeah.
What what have you done for yourself in this process of 4 years now that you're not a contractor, you're not a trigger puller, you're not a door kicker.
Chill. Yeah.
What are you doing now? Let's talk about that. How did that happen? What that was like and what you're doing now?
Oh man, how much time we
Yeah,
got?
I know.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
you know, for you,
Well, I tell you
man,
what,
you know,
part two,
it's
part three, dude.
I
I'll start from
I
the beginning. How about that? And we'll just do a
let's do
part
it.
two, part whatever, dude.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let me start from the beginning because that way, then we can all get context. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Because
absolutely.
context is important.
I think people need that, right? They need to know
Yeah.
what was going on in your head, right?
Yeah.
How did you get to that point? What happened? And then what are you doing on a daily basis to not
Yeah.
go back to that spot again?
Well, I've got an answer for you, homeboy. But hey,
I know
man,
you do. I know you do.
but to answer your question about my crazy beard, this is no joke. The last time I got a haircut of any kind was January. I quit. I'm on a friggin' year hiatus. I'm just letting it do what it does, bro. So just see your track. All
Why?
right. I don't know.
Why?
Because honestly, man, I'm done. This is retired. And it's gonna get into context, but let me go to this to answer this specific question. Because this is my transition. I lived a life that was so damn structured and so
Yeah.
damn on it. My essay was so tight. Dude, and understand this, because I did what I did for the 3-letter agencies for as long as I did, and I traveled private or I traveled commercial under guys. Dude, I was like a platinum member for the freaking dude. Like
Yeah.
it was legit. I was like this travel guy, dude. I had it down with the science. My backpack was
Mm-hmm.
like my mobile command center, dude. I had everything I needed. And
Yep.
literally everything I
Yep.
needed because I had experience through all this and learned what I need, taught just anything. You come home and you don't have any of that anymore.
Yeah.
You start dealing with those worthlessness. You have to separate yourself from that. You have to learn how to evolve. And what I mean by that is if we let it, and trust me, I let it, but if we let
Mm-hmm.
it define who you are, that's what I was, and that's it. If we sink that in too much, we limit ourselves, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I needed to go through all that for what's coming ahead is
Yeah.
how I like to
There it
think
is.
but
There
to
it is.
separate myself again, dude, I worked clandestinely. I got to grow my hair out and all this wild shit, stuff. You've seen pictures of me with craziness, but you also saw me when I was home and I was clean, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
tight beard, freaking hair was all groomed. It was like aura,
Right.
you know? It's like a motivator haircut, you know what I mean? Nice trim shaped beard, whatever, right? But my thing is this: it's like to allow me, because that part of me wants to go and dig a hole, this cave tunnel system in my backyard where I live, where I'm comfortable, right? And I'm the crazy old man that lives in his backyard instead of his house. Okay. To avoid doing that, I got to do something. And I'm letting
Yeah.
my hair I'm just letting it do it because this is the transition. It's not who I was. But at some level, it's all of who I was. Because let me tell you something, being home now from all of this craziness for my entire adult life, I'm remembering who I was before I joined way more than I used to even
Yes.
think about, dude. As a
Yes.
kid,
There it is.
I'm doing things like I used to do as a damn kid. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I totally forgot about that. And I had this whole memory in my head of, oh my God, where have you been?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I'm coming to my full self, dude. I've gone through
Yep.
everything. Now in this last chapter of my life, which is and I say last because it's not like it's short, dude. I mean, some chapters are crazy. You ever read the freaking Art
Right.
of War, boy? Okay, well,
Right. Right.
but my point is, and the reason why I say last chapter is because, and I can't say this with boldness, but I can say this. The way that I want to live now and the way that I'm actually pushing everything to live now, and it comes from rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from rock bottom. It's not like I figured it out and I dodged a bunch of bullets. No, dude. I ate every single one of them, homie.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that, I'm starting to realize it's about what's ahead, man. Everything I did for a reason. And now I'm here.
Right.
I don't want to hurt another soul again, dude.
Right.
But I'll be damned if I'm going to let something fucking stupid happen. Let something crazy happen, bro.
Right.
Not to say, I mean, there are, I got a really good friend. You know him, dude. And he's troubled, homie, because he still sees violence as an option. And it's like, bro, did you learn anything in combat, man? It's always the savvy, because, I came from the soft community, dude. And what truly is the difference, in my opinion, and I don't want to insult anybody, but it's just a level of intellect, man, thinking outside the box, really.
Right. I agree.
That's how soft dudes to be able to operate the way that we operate, man. And it is what it is. It's just an intellect. It's just a thinking outside the box and actually exploring that. And you know what I'm talking about, dude, because we had everybody, there's always one in the unit, dude. He's the donkey. He's the ground pounder. He's the knuckle dragger. You're like, hey, man, load his ass up, because he's about to.
I want him.
He's about to
I want him.
Box, but
I want him.
Carry a serious amount of weight, and you load his ass up with everything, and he's just like, yes, sir.
I got it. I can do it. He's that guy. Yeah. And then you get out here and you don't. You get out and you don't have that guy. You
miss him.
Let me rephrase. You're think, like, where's my leg, bro? You think you don't have that network anymore, right? Because they're not right next to you. They're not in front of you. You don't see them every day. The reality of that situation is you still have that team, right? You still have that team. You can still call up and say, I'm jacked. I don't know what's happening, right? You can still call those guys and say that. And I think so many of us forget that. Me personally, when I was in, and you said it, I should have been a Marine. I never felt like I fit in.
Quit. You understand me?
I do. Anyway. I do. Absolutely. But I never felt like my mentality fit in the Air Force, right? I was not a businessman. I was not a look good guy. I was this is the mission. We're going to fly 24 aircraft today. If I got to work 16 hours to do it, then I'm going to do it. That's just who I was. And
you could have been a red tag with us, bro. You could have put the red tag on the uniform and come hung out with us, and you'd be our red tag, man. Come on, FSSG. You know the gig, man. Come on.
I could have done anything,
and then you would have been one of the few and the proud. All
right. So what am I now? Just chair force?
No,
chair force with look. There's my wings right there. I'm chair force, sitting in my chair right here on.
Hey, man, one team, one fight, bro. Let me tell you something. You
absolutely
some of the best combat medics I've ever even worked with, dude.
Oh yeah, our guys
PJs,
are
man,
insane.
Rock, dude. Your PJs are legit, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie, dude. I've always been impressed with those dudes.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that transition then. You had that operator mindset. You're back home. You attempt suicide. You think about suicide quite a bit. You don't. You hug me and you move on. And now you found that what works for you is your spirituality.
So I got caught up in all the COVID stuff, and I'm not going to get all.
Oh, I think we all did. Some of us way worse than others.
No, work-wise, bro.
Oh, yeah.
But I got stuck out there during all the COVID crazy, and, they locked down airspace, dude. So.
Where were you, by the way, when that happened?
I was in.
Well,
I can say it now. I was in Kabul.
What part of the world? Kabul?
I was in Kabul, Afghanistan. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. The number one vacation spot in the world, bro. So I'm chilling there, dude. Just getting sun rays, and enjoying all the great markets and stuff. You know what I mean?
All the goats and the poppies. All the goats and the poppies.
No, in the city though, they got some good markets, bro. I mean, I ain't gonna
Afghanistan used to be beautiful before Russia tried to invade in the 70s. That
tell you
and
something.
Iraq and
North,
Tehran, they were gorgeous back in the 70s.
dude, North, greatest weather. I was doing some work in some little remote fucking hooyah out there. Did every day it was like I lived in like California when I was a kid, man, because I grew up in San Jose, California. So it was like growing up in like Santa Cruz. I was like, God, oh man, this weather's beautiful. That's crazy. Anyway, all right, dude, you distracted me, bro. Where are we at?
That's all right. So you're getting out. You're coming back. You were involved in that COVID thing. You're stuck overseas.
Yeah.
The mindset coming back. Now you're done.
Okay.
Right. I mean it's a snowball effect. Right.
Oh,
I
dude.
mean it really is. I think you and I talked about this when last year I think I met you at, I want to say Irish or Lobies or something, and
That's a
we were
couple years
talking about
yeah.
whatever I was going through with, hey, you're going to be retired, forced, you're disabled. I'm not disabled. I'm still very able to work. I can't, whatever.
Is what it is.
That's the transition that I think snowballs, right? So it's not what you wanted. It's not how you wanted it. And you have a plan in your head moving forward, and you keep hitting a wall or ignorance in a position, and they can't help you here and they can't help you there. And it's like you're just everywhere you go is a dead end. Right. And it's tough. It's tough. So, you go down that ideological thinking of, it's better for me to go and not be here anymore. What changed your mind? What changed your perspective to stay and work on it and try to be better and understand that was a different chapter of your life, and you are in control of making your next chapter?
Yeah.
What was it? What there had to be one point. There had to be something. Comfortable talking about that?
From me freaking pulling it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What changed?
Yeah. Ultimately, it was my son.
What happened there?
And that dude's a devil dog right now. He's a missile.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
yes,
he shoots javelins, bro. I'm like, this guy. I want to punch him in the chest, man. So, I love him so much, man. He's so badass. That's my son, dude. He's a freaking missileman, dude. I'm like, hey, dude, roger that. I didn't shot no damn javelin. We didn't have javelins back then. But anyway, it was my son. I came home. I made a series of pretty crazy personal choices with relationships. Long story short, I adopted this dude. He is me, bro. You know what I mean? And the kid is me.
I do.
But I adopted him, man, and I got to raise him. 2019, fall of 2019, I'm on my way out. He just started Jackson, and he really wanted to. They do this big, like, Veterans Day. Do they still invite me to speak on the panel there, brother? Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll go there sometimes, man, after my son's gone, but and I'll talk then, because it helps the young out, dude. And you know me, I just shoot the truth, dude. That's bottom.
No.
I ain't gonna push nothing on you, but I'll just shoot the truth, man, and you can disagree, and that's cool. He asked me, hey, Dad, is it okay if you can start coming home for Veterans Day? Because I had a really high deployment tempo. Our tempo was high.
Yeah.
In the 2020s, bro, or the 20 teens were just it's just popping off, dude.
It was. I retired in September of 15, and I remember guys it just kept going.
It's really popping off out there. But anyway,
how did he change it for you? What about him?
I left for my deployment. Hey kid, we'll talk about it. I'll talk to my guys and I'll get some time off next year. Maybe we can do the veteran thing at the school, And he really got me thinking, man, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I was like late 40s at that point. And I'm like, what is this it?
What are you doing? Right.
Yeah, what am I doing? And then COVID popped off. Let me tell you something. The veil lifted, brother. Because the 3-letter agency that I worked for, anyway. But nonetheless, man, the veil lifted. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on around here?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nonetheless,
What's happening?
Yeah. Hey, man, NDAs, man. Yeah,
NDAs. I got it. I got it. It's all good.
Get me, fool. Anyway.
Nope. Not going to do that to you. Not going to do that to you. So you do that last deployment, you come back, and your mindset goes into
home,
this.
And then I make some bad choices. But I'm with my son. Now I get to be with him.
Right.
And it was a really bad time. You know, love can go sour, brother. Just so you track it. It can absolutely go sour. And what's left is but hey, dude.
You think it's shattered, right? You think life is over.
How could I ever expect an orange harvest if all I plant and nurture is apple seeds in my garden, brother?
There you go.
Yep. How can I expect an orange harvest? So nonetheless, man.
You had to look back at yourself, right? What am I trying to sow? What am I trying to plant? What am I trying to grow here? What am I trying to nurture? Am I nurturing the negativity? Am I nurturing the anger? Am I nurturing the violence? Or am I nurturing a young human being who I am? And this is a hard one. I'm that kid's hero. And I don't want to be. I don't want to be. It was never my intention to be anyone's hero, ever. But what am I teaching them? What am I teaching them if I quit? What am I teaching them if all I want to do is fight every swinging dick who looks at me cross-eyed? Right? What am I teaching them? Right?
Now, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Now, couple that obvious failure that's unfolding in front of my eyes with I'm what's known as a fag now, a former action guy. I want to be home. I'm done. I've had enough. I was not going to protect them anymore. It became ideological why I left. Just so you're tracking.
I'm tracking.
I was done with that. I will never do that again. It was ideological why I walked away, not because my son. Okay, it was ideological.
I got you.
It just fast tracked it. Okay, so I wanted to be right. So now I'm watching my personal life. I'm just fall apart. Like, just fall, literally fall apart, dude. I mean, just there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing.
Nope.
On top of that, what do I do now? I had so many good skills. And I'm a smart man. I needed to translate it, but what I didn't realize was I had overloaded my freaking psyche and my body so much for so long. I lived in survival mode and freaking an uncertain life, for a nomad's life for so long. I had no idea the stress I had put on my life until it got to a point where I just didn't even know. I didn't even understand why, like, the male is not the male. Why that would throw me for a freaking loop, dude. And I'm smashed like,
right.
What the what? And it's because I have no control over nothing. Nothing. Who am I?
Right.
What am I if I don't do this? So I tried to be a freaking dude. I tried to work at I'm gonna drop dimes, dude. I tried to work at the post office, man. As a clerk, as a male clerk, I had never met so many. I had to walk away after the dude told me, "Hey, man, you're my best." At the 15 or the month check-in, right? For my first month, he's like, "You're our best employee." I'm like, "I quit." You're the laziest freaking people I've never.
Yes.
I quit. And I was so angry, man. They're like, so I was like, and this is what I realized, bro. so many of us try and reassimilate. Here's the problem. You left a world that freaking grew up without you, that did a thing that you didn't learn. You lived in a freaking bubble. We all lived in a great bubble.
Yeah.
It was like a socialism experiment that worked. They do their job, they do their job, they do their job, we do our job, and they do their job, and everybody eats, and everybody's has a place to stay, and everybody's paid, and everybody's clothed, and blah, blah, blah.
Right. The check comes in on the 1st and the 15th. I know I got food at the chow hall. I know there's going to be a rack for me to lay my head in at night. I know tomorrow I got another mission. There is nothing else for me to think about right now. Nothing else at all. I'm good.
And
I got it all. All I got to do is.
But the more and more the free world or the non-military world continues to eat itself like it does, it's a completely different animal. Why do you want to come home and assimilate with that? You can't. You're different. You're raised different. Come home and show what you got, dude. A lot of us should be entrepreneurs. A lot of us should be management. A lot of us should be doing things. And I'm not saying we deserve that because of what we did, but I'm saying employers should open their eyes and say, what do I want? I want a problem solver.
The skill set that we've been given, that we learned, that we developed, that we used our experience and expertise with over X amount of years in all kinds of dire situations. We, as that veteran, as that military, as that operator, we have to understand that it's not the skill set of pulling the trigger or dragging a body. It's the skill set of planning and executing. That's the skill set, right? The ability to adapt when situations don't work out and do it all very calmly and efficiently. That's the skill set. What happens, in my opinion, when we get into the civilian world, they don't have that warrior mindset, right? As soon as a problem happens and it's not going the way that the schedule says or the way that the list says, they panic. And we're like, well, we don't have to do it that way. We can just go, let's just go grab. And then they freak out. They're like, oh no, dude, back away. Look, I got this. Steps 1 through 10 are an advisory. This is how we think you should do it. Step 11 is the final product. Did I make the final product? Did I skip any safety steps? Did I miss anything in the middle? No, I made your final product.
That's ORM, operational risk management.
Operational,
You know what
we know all that is.
You know what
absolutely.
That is.
As a flyer, as a flyer, we had CRM, crew resource management, right? How is everybody flying on that airplane, right? Who's in charge of that airplane? The pilot, the PIC, the guy in charge right away. But who's the system
5 W's,
specialist?
bro.
Go ahead, do it. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows
5 W's, man. Who, what, when, where, why. If you know those, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So I tell my son when he was a teenager, right, able to drive, I said, give me the 5 W's, kid. And he'd lock it on, and I was like, go have fun.
Go have fun.
Because I knew what was going on.
Speaking of sons, let's transition a little bit here.
All right.
You talk about things happening in chapters. In the last 3 weeks, my youngest son has bought a house at 21 years old and moved out, right? My daughter, who is 3 years older than him, is pregnant, due in February, and closed on her house today.
Oh, hey, dude.
Right?
Especially like this, though, right on.
Yeah. And my oldest daughter, the Thunderbird, got orders to Korea. She leaves in February as well. There's a lot happening in this current chapter of my life, right? And you talked about it earlier, the being able to evolve, right? How do I evolve? I'm not going to lie to you. Saturday and Sunday, when my son moved out on Saturday, I went into first sergeant mode. This has to be done. You have to do it this way.
What you know, bro?
Because he's never moved. He's never moved. He's never bought a house. He's never done any of that. And I'm sitting here thinking, as a dad, I thought I did better than this. I thought you knew to do these things. Stepping back as a first sergeant, and you go, this kid don't know that stuff. He's never been into it. And it's no fault of his own. It's not even my fault. It's life. It's what he's been doing. And I can't assume that he knows everything that I know. He hasn't been through it. He doesn't know it. He works 60 hours a week, and he 5 12s is what this kid's been working for like a year and a half. And he's 21 years old. He's saving money. He's doing the right thing. He bought a house. But what am I worried about? I'm worried about, man, can he put a screw in the wall to hang a picture? Like he's never done brakes with me. He doesn't change oil with me. He's never been a car guy. Like, does he know how to do these things? And you have to, I forced myself to sit on the back porch, that therapy porch of mine, all day Sunday, smoking meat, watching football, and not thinking about him, because I can't do anything about that anymore. He's outside of my house. I have to trust that that he'll call if he needs help. Right. And that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's that involvement, right? The chapter of the life that I am in is no longer a teacher, grower, nurturer, protector. It's it's a grandpa, right? It's the dad lives at the home with the tools. It's hey, go take a couple hours and help the boy, right? I can't be on him 24. It's a transition. It's just
that's the transition.
It's hard. It's hard. It's the evolution. It takes a lot of time, dude. I've been out for last week was 10 years I've been retired, T-Bone. 10 years. Do you believe that? 10 years I've been out of the military, bro. Like, for real, 10 years. And I've been out of the FAA, the agency, for a year and a half. Like, how does this happen?
Time doesn't stop, Chief.
Time stops for no man, dude. It doesn't. Time stops for no man. Steve-O, I can't thank you enough for jumping on today. You and I are going to have to get together and go have some lunch here shortly.
I would love to, man. You know that.
I think you should come out. I think you should come out to West Salem at the end of the month with me too. Just hang out with me. You'll be with me. You'll be safe. Right? Let me show you a couple things. Let's do some talking.
You know,
you do that with me?
And I'll be down. You just
I got you.
I might need a little more encouragement than usual, if that makes sense, brother.
No problem. Because let me tell you what happened to me. With Albert. For 2 weeks, I talked myself out of it. I'm not going to go. I don't like it. I don't want to be put in that situation. I don't want to be there. I don't know anything about race cars. Let me rephrase that. I don't know anything about open wheel cars. I don't want to go without my wife. I don't know these people. What if they're assholes? What if I don't fit in? What if? Hey, let's put this one thing. Let's put this one what if in there. What if you have a good time?
Yeah.
What if you realize something about yourself at that event that changes the trajectory of your life? What if at that event you have a conversation with another operator who just happens to show up, and you two start sharing stories? And now you're in the middle of this, man, I'm okay. Like, this is, I'm good. And I gotta have this interaction, right? What if it changes your life? What if it changes your trajectory? What if it changes your path? That's how I got to look at things right now. I can't deal with, I don't like the word can't. I don't like the word wish. And I hate the word but I just said it. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable to learn, right? You have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations to understand who you really are and what you're able to do. You talk about struggling when you come back, that you're this high performer. You are special. You are unique. I struggled with that a very long time because I was always told you're not, right? Pride is a sin. Ego is bad. Never celebrate what you've done. It's only just expected. And then you get out and you look and you're like, well, wait a minute. I know 100 people, 99 of them have never been outside of Ohio. I don't share that with them. They don't know what it's like to rely on somebody else to do their job so you can both go home that night. They don't understand that. And when you come out to the track and you see 8 or 10 guys, half of which, by the way, are veterans. I want you to know that on Lex's team, half of them are veterans that wrench on this car. You realize that they're taking that skill set that they learned, that discipline, in the military and applying it to that race car, and they're all working as a team to achieve that goal of winning that race. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like motorsports is one of those things that if you're struggling, don't quit. Right. If you're struggling, there's another race, there's another lap, there's another turn. Right. It doesn't matter how you got into this turn. How are you going to get out of it? If I blew the entry, I can still nail the exit. Right. And I think you have to think that way in life. And a lot of us really struggle outside of the military because we don't have a book, right? There's not a step-by-step procedure. There's not a warning, caution, or note in the book that says, hey, don't do this. This will happen. Well, you can do it, but this might happen, right? Well, we really don't recommend you do it, but you can, right? We don't have that kind of stuff, right? We have to actually go do it. We have to go figure it out, and you're gonna fail. You're gonna suck. It's sorry, you didn't learn how to fly an airplane in 16 hours. You didn't learn how to be an operator in 16 hours. You didn't learn how to safely clear a building or set up surveillance or trail somebody or do a snatch and grab. You didn't learn all that stuff in one day.
But more importantly, every team you switch to and every evolution you move up in, you're the boot in the team.
Yeah, you start at the bottom
always a boot.
Every time.
Yes.
You have to.
You have to earn. It's this repeating, and that's why this is what I see. This is why I love hanging out with veterans and why we always get along so well, dude. Because I don't see Flyboy, I see my boys in Flyboy. Right. And I learn you by associating you with exactly who you remind me of, who's my bro. Because we all think the same. We all act the same.
Yeah.
Whether generation X, Y, Z, whatever, man. I talk to an old dude. I talk to a young buck. We all have the same things. My son and
same attitude.
Have so many better conversations now because there's so much to talk about because he's like in my world now. I'm in his world. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have to be
talking to the veterans, man. It's like talking to my bros.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be about the wartime stories, right? It's just it's about what's happening here.
It's the adverse times that bring us together, and the military is filled with adverse times. Well,
every day.
No matter if it's if it's weapons cleaning or if it's freaking you got to find that PVS-7 or whatever, man, something crazy. Bottom line is there's a lot of adverse times, and you build a camaraderie that it's ageless, and there's just in the military. There's not enough of us to understand because not so
we
many
have to get out.
Yeah,
we have to get out.
That didn't act like us, and that's why I say, don't try to reintegrate. Figure out how you can share what you've learned with others, however that is.
I love that. I love that. Don't sell yourself short. Don't downplay yourself to them.
Yes.
Right. Don't go in with an open mind, be a sponge, learn, and then make it better. Right. Don't come in as the colonel. Don't come in acting like a colonel when you're really a private. Right. Don't come in acting like you know everything when we're going to teach you. Right. And I think that's what makes us unique. Right. We used to think that the only place a veteran could go was the American Legion, the VFW, the Army, Navy, and go drown our sorrows in a dark, dingy bar with stale fucking beer. And that's not it. That's not who we are, right? That's not who our generation is. We don't do that. We talk about our stuff.
That's just one little teeny aspect. Let's say
one aspect, one avenue. There's the SAM Center, right? You can volunteer at the SAM Center. And hand out things. You can go to their coffee and conversation and hang out with other vets, excuse me, and learn about the VA PACT Act or learn about filing a claim. There will be other veterans there that can talk to you about these things. Now, you said it yourself. That's why we gravitate towards the veterans. Yeah. But you also said you hang out in your backyard with caves and trenches and tunnels because you don't want to go anywhere else.
I know, bro.
This right here. Don't. I am going to get you. You jumped in on this. You knew what was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen.
Because it's time. It's
it is time.
Time for me to. I regrouped, bro. I feel good now.
Right. Okay. Let me step out a little bit. Yeah. Let me step out a little bit. Let me try a little something. It might work. It might not. But I have to get out of this right now. I have to go step out. I have to go be with other people. I have to share my experiences with people that understand them. And it doesn't have to be in a counselor's office. It doesn't have to be at the VA, right? It doesn't have to be with the VSC. And I think that's what Save 22 offers. We offer a place for you to get some diversions that I'm very comfortable in, which gives me the opportunity to be comfortable with the others, right? So when you bring, and this is not just me, right? And we're just talking about me right now in Save 22. Save 22 has 5 or 6 other advocates that are doing their own thing that makes them very comfortable. My thing is motorsports and these Sam Center events and the VSCs and things like that. And you go, what we say, meet the vet where they're at, right? So I'm going to meet you where you're at. You're at home. You jump on. You've been on 3-4 times in a row now. Hey, do you want to come on the show today? Yeah. Dude, yeah, I want to come on the show today. It's time.
I really like Tom, man. I like what you guys do, bro. I really do.
We're just being out there. Just be out there and bring people. Huh?
Yeah. It helps, man. You got dudes on your team that I've interacted with. We're all brothers, man. And so
one way or another.
Yeah. And so of course I tune in, dude, because I'm retired, man. And you guys are my bros and I get to actually relate. And I love it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do what you do, brother. Seriously.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you. It makes
always one. Hey. Always, man. That's how it is. That's how we make it, man. We were committed.
It is.
Why do you think the social experiment worked, dude? The military.
Oh yeah.
Works.
I saw
or else we'd all be happy getting out. Why are we all?
Oh yeah.
Be happy.
Oh.
No, because it worked.
Active duty, 90 to 99. And I can distinctly remember being at Tinker so close-minded, right? So only focused on me in a bad way, right? Not a good way. Only focused on, I don't want to be here anymore because I'm going to be institutionalized. I want to learn how to be a civilian. This isn't working for me. You've tied me into a job I don't want to be at anymore. I can't go back to fighters. I'm stuck on heavies and recon. I'm not a recon guy, dude. I got to go, right? Like I got to go. I want to be back on my fighters. I want to be on intertheater airlift. I want to be involved, right? I can't do this stand away stuff. It wasn't for me. And I distinctly remember saying, I don't want to work as a contractor because it's the same as being in the military, just a different uniform. And it's the same mindset, right? Well, I got out in December of 99. I started working with a buddy of mine. We're rehabbing houses, things like that a little bit, do that about 6 months. It ain't working out, right? It's just not working. I got to go back into the service, try to get back into the service. Hey, you got to take a rank off. Hey, you got to go do full Marine Corps boot. And oh, by the way, we're not taking any blue to green. You're going to lose all your rank and start over. I'm like, bro, I was an NCO. I'm not taking off. I'm an NCO, right? I'm not going back to peon status. That's not happening. No. So, you fight that. And again, it's a brick wall everywhere you go, right? It took me 17 months to get back in the service. And then you find it and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this ain't what I remember, right? I had this break and now I'm back in and I'm not liking this either. Like what's happening here, right? So you got to change your mindset. Why am I doing this? What am I doing? When you make a choice, you take everything with that choice. My choice was to be in the service again and to retire, take it to retirement. So I did everything I could do to make it all the way to retirement. I have no idea where I was going with that. That's the whole,
Hey man, it don't matter, dude. If you talk about time, it had to come out.
It had to come out.
And at the end of
You're
the day, man, that's when you ever notice, okay, we talk about like fireside chat, right? And like fireside sessions and so on. Why is that? Because we're communicating sincerely. That's all it is. We're just expressing, we're getting things out that a lot of us like to bottle up, dude.
Yeah,
And
and it doesn't have to be the wartime stories,
no,
right? It doesn't
no,
have to be the wartime experiences.
that's just one aspect.
How
How
am I?
dramatic,
How do I do this thing called life now? How this
yeah.
isn't working for me? What am I doing wrong? Help me out. Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just learning.
Mhm.
You're just learning. You never had to do it before, and now you have to do it.
And
You have to do it.
that's the one downfall about this military socialism experiment I like talking about is we don't have our gunny telling us what to do no more.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
more structure, brother. There's no more.
Friend of
And
mine.
that's the bad part. Is where's gunny? Because I don't know. Am I supposed to go to? What am I supposed to do right now?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine last year tell
That's
me a
the one.
brutal truth. Told me a brutal truth, and I love her to death. I've known her since we were kids. We went to preschool together. Like we've known each other 50 years.
Yeah.
And she says to me, "You're not the right person for this because you're an order taker." And I'm like, F you. I can do it. I've done everything I ever put my mind to. I have done it all that I ever wanted to do.
But it's
I can do
pride that
this.
tells you
Oh,
you can do this too, instead of stepping back macro and look at the big
4
picture.
months.
Yep.
4 months I made it in that position, and I said, I got to go. I got to go. I don't know this. I don't know this, and I'm not good at it. What am I good at? This is what you're good at. All right. I didn't want to listen to you. I didn't want to believe you because my pride from being that 4'11", 98-pound guy in high school, and being told you're too little, you don't have any talent, you're never going to be good at that. That drove me in my adult life to do everything. I volunteered for everything that ever came up. I took every assignment, every TDY that was offered. I took them, every deployment, everyone I could do, just to prove to who I have no idea. Actually, I do. All the people that have nothing to do with my life now, that's what I was proving to, right? All those people that said you can't do this, I was proving it to them, when in reality, I was proving it to myself, right? I am good enough. And I think when we get out, we forget that. We forget that we did all those hard things, that we made it through all those hard things. We might be injured. We might have things that don't work like they used to. Whatever it is, we made it. We did it. And what are you going to do now? That's the hard part, right? That's the purpose. That's the drive. That's the getting better. It's not saying that every day is going to be great. There are going to be days that absolutely suck, that you cannot get out of your own way. Do you need to go down, lay down naked in the grass and ground yourself? Do you need to play Call of Duty for 10 hours online with your buddies? Do you need to, smoke an ounce of the Mary Jane in a day? Like, what do you need to do? Do it. Whatever you think you need to do that day, go do it. But at the end of the day, you need to give yourself credit that you made it through that day, that you did it. No matter what you think, you made it through that day, and you did it the best that you could. Now, if that means I had to sit on the couch today because I don't have it physically, if that means I don't have it mentally and I can't get through my emails, okay, that's fine. But give it a shot again tomorrow. Give it a shot. Just keep trying.
Yeah, it's perspective, man.
It is perspective.
I look at it like this. You can accept that you were once samurai and now you're Ronin. Or
great movies, by the way. 47 Ronin and Ronin, phenomenal movies.
Oh yeah. Or understand that by serving your master, it's this whole thing you're doing is an evolution, and you just got done with one part. But that's the struggle. That takes time. That's a process, and that's where people outside of you, in your perspective, can help you.
Right. And who are you listening to? Who are you listening to?
Yeah.
Are you listening to those
Yes.
voices and those people that are saying, no, don't do that? Or are you listening to those people that say, hey, that's a great idea. I think you might want to look at this perspective of it first. I'm behind you. I'm with you. I got you. But
Yes.
let's look at it let's look at it this way. That might not be the best way. I'm with you. I got you.
Because understand, when you're confused, you're in a vulnerable state.
Absolutely. You will take
And
any
yes.
information at that
And
time.
that's why SA requires you to make sure you put yourself around people and listening to people who you, it's not just agree with, but also who truly care. Because if I
Right.
truly care, am I going to allow you to act a fool? No.
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 No. Am I going to allow you to do something that's going to get you into a deeper problem? Am I going to allow you to continue? I'm going to
Enable.
tell you.
Am I going to enable?
Enable. I'm not going to enable you.
Friends don't enable me. No, especially if you're doing bad.
If you're doing, if you're truly a friend, you're going to call them up. Hey, you're effing up, bro. Like, you're driving away the people that really care and listening to the ones that just want to use you.
Yeah. What's up? Not even that you're
What the-
fucking up, because I'm telling you right now, some of my homies, man, you tell them they're fucking up. That just adds sorry, but that just adds insult to injury.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
So
then they're
I'm
like, well, I'm not talking to him.
Yeah. So it's
Right.
like, hey, man, what is up, Chief? Talk to me.
Yeah. Talk
Come
to
on.
me.
Right?
Talk to me. It's okay. Right. No matter what it is you're going through, you're not the only one. I want you to know that. And number two, it's not the end of the world. You might think it is, but it's not. It's not. Let's change. Let's look.
So, in the words of Charlie Kirk, man, in the absence of communication starts violence. Well, in this case, the violence is in your mind and you're fighting yourself and you're not communicating to anybody. There's no grounding.
Yep.
And so be careful with that, man.
The source of aggravation and anger is ignorance. The source of aggravation and anger is ignorance. Ignorance of the situation, ignorance of your education, ignorance of your knowing of the situation. It's ignorance. When I grew up, you too, in the 70s, ignorant was a bad word. Like, if you're ignorant, you're a dumbass, right? I mean, you are, and you don't. I mean, at least in my house, ignorant. You ignorant.
What is you ignorant?
Well, no, I didn't know. I didn't get that far yet,
Dude,
right? I had to learn, right? So I don't like. I mean, ignorant is a great word in my opinion, because it's true. You're ignorant of a situation. You don't have the correct knowledge, right, to proceed or to continue or to make it the way you want to. That's why you're ignorant. You don't know. That's all it means. You don't know. So ask, give it a shot.
I agree.
I got to get off this thing, man. We have been on this for an hour and a half. I'm telling you, we're going to have like a part 2 and a part 3. But
man, I didn't know it was this easy. So
it's that easy.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was this easy. It just.
I also want you to know too that you're not the only one listening in your garage. The Undertaker in here, he has a wood shop out back, and he goes and turns us on, and while he's doing his whittling or his wood carvings and stuff, he turns us on. So thanks to the Undertaker for that. And you're in the garage, and the least likely, I don't know where Josh is at. I don't know what he's doing today, but you can grab it wherever you need to grab it, right? If you need it, it's there. And just ask, right? Just ask. T-Bone, thank you for your time.
Chief.
Thank you for your story. Thank you for your honesty.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
I'm going to take you drag racing, bro. We're going to go drag racing, okay?
All right, Chief. I'm down. I mean,
hey,
you know that.
It's on YouTube now, bro. It ain't never going away. I got you saying yes. It's there.
I know, and you got me saying curse word, man. My bust. I'm you know, I used to wear this shirt that says I love Jesus, but I cuss sometimes. I'm like, dang.
I love that. I love that shirt. Our boy Pete Dohar, Whiskey Pete, jumped on. He said, "Gentlemen, thank you." Pete is another Marine who uses music. He uses music, man. He's a great guy.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone. Steve, I'm going to let you go. I got to wrap this up. Thank you. that was Steve Dybel, man. He's a former operator, Marine, a 3-letter agency kind of guy who high speed, low drag is what we used to call those dudes. And we still do in our inner circles around those bonfire chats. So thank you, Steve, for being so open and honest today with your story and what you struggle with and how you've tried to reintegrate, as we say, back into the civilian life. So I'm really looking forward to having you at the racetrack next week. We got a couple other people coming with us. Jamie, I met her at BWXT. We saw her up in Milan, Michigan, or National Trail. I don't remember. She's coming back. We're going to be there with the Never Quit Nitro Army in Lex, June. What a phenomenal weekend that's going to be. We're going to provide food for the team that day through Safe 22 and myself. It's just going to be really incredible. So again, live, spur of the moment. We had no idea what was going to happen today. I woke up not wanting to do this, and I got to tell you, I am rejuvenated, I guess is the word, right, for today. So thank you, Steve, for jumping on. Thank you, everybody that was waiting for it to come on at the same time, and we're waiting here for us. Janice, thank you for being here, honey. I love you very much. You are one of those people who will forever be part of my family. Yeah. Thanks, Janice. All right, everybody. Listen, to get your free 2-pack of tickets, you got to go right down here to Motorsports at safe22.vet. We are going to be at Dragway 42 in West Salem, Ohio, September 25th to the 27th. That's the next time Safe 22 will be at an event. There are going to be some community events through the Veteran Service Commissions of Canton and Worcester. Also, the Sam Center is having some monthly stuff. They send out their newsletter. I highly recommend you get involved with the Sam Center here in Ohio, in Massillon and Canal Fulton. See what's going on, right? See what's out there. Some stuff might help you out. Maybe you just want to come hang out. Email me right here at Tuesday Talk, and I would love to hear from you. If you have some veterans or first responders with an incredible story, please reach out. Let me know who they are. I'll reach out, try to get them on the show. If you yourself have a great story, even if you don't think it's a great story, your story is your strength. I need you to know that your story is your strength. Your scars are what got you to where you are today. And I thank you for being here. None of us have made it this far in our life. Say something, be positive, right? Change somebody's life. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. Reach out to that somebody. Do a buddy check. Hey, we're all in this thing together. So